Wow, what a special edition of Managed Chaos Podcast. We are live.
Yes. At South by Southwest.
What?
We made it.
South by.
Yeah.
Welcome to Managed Chaos Podcast, where we give you the startup business rundown in less time than it takes for you to get to work.
Yeah, we're here in Austin, Texas.
And you are?
Rachel Anderson.
And I'm Katrina Purcell.
And we are the Managed Chaos Podcast. Normally, we give you the business rundown in less time than it takes to get to work, but today, we're just
super special,
giving you an inside look at some of the stuff that we get to do as podcast hosts and business owners with the Chaos brand. I'm going to call it the Chaos brand.
I feel like TM to be. Anyway, so, all right, we are currently actually at the expo. And the expo, if you've never been to one, it's pretty cool. It's actually a mix of different types of expos I feel like I've been to in the past. We just recorded some stuff with another podcast that actually had a booth. Mm-hmm. There are different things that you can buy, including the lovely tripod that we are recording this episode on, which is fantastic.
I'm very excited about it as a creative.
I feel
not sponsored, but maybe they should.
Yeah, they were in the right place at the very right time. There's also a couple of different lounges. There's a lot of networking, so much networking happening, both in the expo, at the sessions, out on the street. I went to Witch to get a lettuce witch. You know, I love lettuce witches. And some founder from Australia heard me talking to someone else, started asking questions. Now we're connected on LinkedIn. So there's been a lot of what do they call it? The South by Serendipity.
Oh, I like that. I like the alliteration. South by Serendipity. Yeah, I mean, we've gotten to connect with a lot of people that we may not normally get to see or engage with. Part of that is because we really work with startups and small businesses. You work with nonprofits, and startups. But we kind of have this different profile sometimes, and there's a lot of creatives here. There's a lot of people that are really smart in the industry, and it's been such a privilege to be able to really talk about niche issues with people and see what the wider scale of kind of private industry looks like in this current moment. And it's been a really great time.
Yeah. So we got here Thursday night. We started off with a pop-up grocer, which was really
fun.
I've never been before, but it was very colorful, which is perfect for Rachel's vibe.
Yeah, it literally looks like someone just did a great marketing spread of colors, but they're all real brands.
And I bought a ton of stuff.
I mean, my favorite from the pop-up brochure was that watermelon water.
The watermelon water
very good.
It's called Mela. It's very good. Exceptional vibes for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
And then we basically retreated to our room because number one, we were on East Coast time, and number two, I think we were really stressed about our presentation.
Yes.
On Friday,
we got to meet up with a photographer friend that Katrina knows, and he really followed us around. So
shout out Mustang Larry.
Mustang Larry on Instagram. Go follow him. But he was a great participant to our fun and mischief for basically 2 days, Friday and Saturday.
Photos to come of Rachel and I actually together that aren't photoshopped. So spoiler alert that a lot of the photos you've seen of the two of us together were not actually together because this is our third time in person.
That's right. I live in North Carolina. You live in New York. And we get to do this podcast together, which is really fun. But it's even more fun when we get to collaborate in person, IRL, as the kids say.
And then we went to a fantastic panel, which was hosted by a foundation that supports women entrepreneurs. The women who spoke on the panel were actually all women who had either exited companies or had very large companies, including Little Words Project.
Yes.
Shout out, Adriana.
Very nice.
Love Little Words Project. We have Managed Chaos custom bracelets actually already made. And so that panel was absolutely amazing. It was really about getting more women into angel investing and more women just to, understand how to get funded. Lots of connections happening there.
Which, I mean, I just want to plug that further because I know that's something that Katrina and I don't talk a lot about on the podcast, but we both really care about getting women in business, getting more accessibility to funds for any minority group. And this was a great event to kind of see what the state of things were from women who have really been part of the investing and can say what it looks like on that side, and then also women who have made it through investing. I think, I have a Lila group back in North Carolina, and we have some events coming up around these topics, and it was such a perfect kind of kismet moment of information.
Then we plan to be very good and go back and work on our presentation. However, we went out in search of food and stumbled upon manifestedly, not even a word, upon the Costa Rica house,
which was incredible. I mean,
Bumpin'.
the food, delicious. Oh yeah, it was like nighttime glory, strings of lights,
first of all,
which was
fantastic.
Great.
Yes, the food, amazing.
And there was a 360 photo experience, which we have. I don't know if we've posted it.
We have not posted it, but I may or may not have Dancing with the Sloth. So
yeah.
And then we did go back to the room and finish, putting the final touches on the presentation because Saturday was the day.
Yeah, Saturday was the day. So let's talk about the workshop. We got the pleasure, the honor of hosting a workshop. It was 2 hours after we applied for just a live recording of this podcast.
Yeah.
And someone saw potential, the community voted, and we got to then present 2 hours of content. And so our session was really called Start to Scale, Managing the Chaos of Rapid Growth, which I think is the perfect way to talk about everything in culmination of what we talk about in the podcast, Manage Chaos.
Exactly. So we started off with processes because you know that I'm a big process dork and I love to talk about it. So we spent about 30 minutes on process.
Yeah.
Then we shifted to
people. We really talked about how you people roadmap a plan so that you can have a strategic choice about how you scale your people talent.
Then we switched to technology because technology should really be the foundation and the basis, but it shouldn't drive your people and your process.
It's the solution, right?
It's the solution. So then we did some Q&A, some open Q&A. We had the best participants who were super willing to participate. And I personally just really enjoyed interacting with people who owned all kinds of different companies and had all kinds of different roles. One of them actually did find me on the street while I was walking back from Witch, and that's who was saying hello to me.
Oh, that's incredible.
Which was really just fantastic. Coming out of the workshop, I think I was on like cloud 100, a million.
Right. I mean, it was incredible. Like it just felt, I get this like adrenaline high when I talk to new people and when I do workshops and speaking engagements, it's like times 1,000. And so I really ramp up, get the like adrenaline flood, and then it's like the slow come down.
And we went straight from there to the speaker dinner.
Yes.
Which luckily was hosted at Fogo de Chão.
Delicious.
If you don't know this about me, I'm gluten-free, and they have the most amazing Brazilian cheesy bread, which is naturally gluten-free. I ate an entire bowl of it.
And that's not hypothetical. That was, she literally saw the server and said, "Can I have the whole thing?"
And they gave it to me, and
it was worth it.
All of it, as well as a cup of bacon.
It was a cup of bacon, which is my favorite thing. I think bacon makes everything better. Just like cheese.
Then I was so introverted, I was like, I gotta go.
We were tired. It was a long
walk
way.
down to the back bridge.
Yeah, it was really lovely. I mean, honestly, it was still a little noisy because Austin is just full of life right now. But it was a quiet moment after a lot of engagement, and it was just a really beautiful way to enjoy what Austin has to offer, what nature has to offer in those moments to just rejuvenate before we go more.
And then I don't even remember what else we did, but
it's been a blur. We've been in session, so we got to see Malcolm Gladwell, Brene Brown, Kenya Barris talk about shame and cultures and how verbs are important, which they are. As someone who has a degree in communications, that was said in the session, and I was like, yes, they are.
And people do argue over verbs.
Yeah, over semantics. I think, we gave this example in our workshop that everyone on the podcast listening, if I say the word blue, you're going to think of something really specific, but every single person is going to think of something different, whether it's, baby blue, dark blue, navy blue, royal blue. And we're all right and wrong at the same time. So it really is so important to define and understand what you're talking about. This is totally a tangent, but anyway.
And then, today we took in some more sessions. We did some immersive exhibits. We've been hitting up lots of happy hours, lots of different events where the crowds kind of keep changing. I've run into a few amazing former coworkers, which has been really cool. I do feel like a bit of an Austin celebrity.
I feel like she's a celebrity.
So that's been nice for the ego. And today is our last day, which is really upsetting, but we promised you guys we would record an episode here. We are recording this. We've been giving away backpacks. We've been giving away stickers. Rosalie Ennis, who was on the podcast. We've been giving away her book about risk, which is fantastic. You can find that on Amazon. We will drop the link in the show notes. And what else? I mean, how do we even wrap?
I mean, it's really hard. It's hard to describe. I think this is maybe how we wrap. So I was on the escalator going to an event, one of the keynote sessions with Blue Sky founder, Jay Graber, I believe is her name. And I overheard these two ladies behind me, and one of them was like, I don't know, I've never been to a conference before. And the other one was like, yeah, I can't tell if this is normal. And I couldn't help myself. I turned around and I said, there's no way to describe this, but I can definitely tell you this isn't normal. So this has been such an incredible time. I mean, I'm so grateful for not only South by Southwest seeing our potential and wanting to give us a platform to help other startups and business people have the basic tools they need to really do an incredible job at changing the customers that they serve, the lives of the customers they serve, but also to everyone who voted for us in that panel picker, because I really think that that was the thing that did it for us. There's thousands and thousands of submissions, and I just think that it was the community of people that support us that really made that happen. So I just thank you.
So make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube, because we've learned that really goes a long way. Definitely follow us on all of your podcast platforms, and we will see you on the next episode
of the Managed Chaos Podcast.